Hello everybody, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Carole, this is my channel Sew Carole, and today you are joining me for the second results of the Fabric Wheel of Fate, and this is the third time I've done this series. So my Wheel of Fate is something that I spin to determine what my next project's going to be. I had a group of viscose chalet fabrics and some blouse and top patterns that I hadn't used. So the two together, combined on this wheel, decided for me what I was going to sew. There is going to be a change, but I will go back to that at the end. So what was the last spin? The last spin ended up on this fabric here, which was this lovely viscose crepe fabric that I got from Sewing Studio in Maitland in Florida. Very lightweight. You needed a delicate hand to sew this one. And the pattern that it chose was McCalls 8067, which I've been meaning to make for a while. The view I actually had my eye on was the collarless view because I'm not a massive fan of collars. But when I looked at this fabric and when I held it against my skin, I really felt that this kind of fabric would need a collar. So I've done it and I am very pleased with it. So ideally I would have liked to have made this pretty version, which is less formal because I don't need a lot of blouses with collars. But anyway, I went ahead and made that version there. This version is very cropped, so I did add a bit of length to it. I think I actually went for that length in the end. So I'm very, very pleased with it. This was a really good pattern. I did have one issue with this fabric, is the fact that the view I wanted to make had the two pockets on. Very first thing you always do in a pattern, if it has pockets, is you seem to always have to make the pockets up. So I did. I spent a lot of time with this because of course it's being so lightweight, it's going to move, it's going to stretch. So I made the two pockets, put them on, but what happens is because the fabric is so lightweight, they just sagged. I think I've got a picture of them. So I decided that this couldn't have pockets. So after wasting a lot of time making them, put them aside and ditched the idea. But I think it works well without pockets anyway. So as I said, great pattern, so glad I used it. I would like to do it in a more viscose chalet, not a cotton because I'm not a massive fan of cotton blouses, but I'm really pleased with it. Now, I'm going to model it for you, but I'm actually going to do it in the room today because the weather is foul outside. So I'm going to try it on now and see what you think. So here is the finished blouse. As you can see, it's a very floppy, lightweight type of blouse. Now, I didn't say, but I actually cut this in a size 8 because I was warned that it is oversized, and I think it's about the right size for me. So it does have a split seam. I did make the longer length, as I said. You think it would go with these green trousers? I'm not altogether convinced, but we shall see. Now you can see where it would have had pockets. It doesn't seem to be that sheer, so I think I've got away with it. I love the sleeve length. The collar was an interesting construction, but what it does have it's in its favour for me is it's a flat collar, like the patina blouse and like another one I've done recently, so it doesn't catch on my hair. It's when you have a collar with a collar stand that it drives me crazy. But yeah, it was very different construction. Now I've just put some kind of ivory buttons on, and I will admit they are not working buttonholes. I have cheated. There's no way I would ever need to undo this. So I don't see the point, especially with such a risky lightweight fabric, and it's always the last thing you do, the buttonhole, so you can do a perfect job with the blouse and then ruin it at the end with the buttonhole going wrong. But I didn't. So yeah, I am really pleased. It's just got one back, there's no yoke or anything. Very lightweight, very cool, feels very floaty. I really like it. If I was a working lady, then this would be the ideal blouse. For me, I'll just wear it when I want to, just a bit smarter. I think it would go perfectly with white jeans, I have to say. Actually, let me go and get some and we'll have a look. This looks much better, doesn't it? The only thing I would say is the fact that it isn't on a white background, it's actually on a kind of an ivory background. But I think, doesn't that actually looks so much smarter having the fitted trousers. Yeah, that makes quite a smart outfit, doesn't it? I will just say, every time I put these trousers on, people always ask me if I've made them and what pattern they are. And they're actually Burda 6534, a pattern that I use all the time for kind of jeans and cropped trousers, sort of tighter cropped trousers. But yeah, I am very, very pleased with that top. Very nice, lightweight top. So, as I said in the beginning, the fabric wheel is going to have to change slightly. I have 4 fabrics left over. But the tops that I originally chose were summery tops. Now, if any of you live in the UK or live outside of the UK, you will have heard us going on about how bad our summer has been. So where are we now? We're very nearly in August and we're just not going to get the chance to wear summery tops, clearly. Although I am going away at the end of August, September, it's not a holiday that I would need nice floaty tops. So, the tops that I'm going to say goodbye to are these, and I am gutted because I really wanted to make these up. But one thing I never do on my channel is sew for content. I only sew things that I know I want to wear or my family want to wear. I never sew just to try something because fabric is so precious. So many processes go into making fabric that we shouldn't really waste or squander. So I'm going to put these aside for next year. So I've chosen some instead that I had that are longer sleeved, and luckily the 4 pieces of fabric I had left over, or I've got quite a substantial amount. So what patterns did I choose? I've got 2 Buttericks, a Simplicity and a something that I'm going to have to look up because I'm not sure. First of them is Butterick 6632. Long sleeve blouse with a kind of flat wide neckband with a V detail here. Not quite sure what I would have a go at, but I have that one I've never made. I also have this one, Butterick 6455. I haven't had this one that long, so I think I must have picked it up in a Butterick sale on holiday. But again, I quite like this version, or floaty sleeves. So that's Butterick 6455. I then have a Simplicity 8920. I know a lot of people have made this version up. I'm not sure if I would go for that split sleeves. That's a bit brave for me. But yeah, definitely have a go at that one. And the last one I got free from a sewing magazine. Oh, it's a Jennifer Lauren Handmade, the Ailing blouse. I'm sure there are hundreds of videos out there on people this. But it just looks quite a nice, almost like a tunic, isn't it? Like a tunic top. So yeah, haven't used that one. So I've got the 4 patterns that I'm going to put on the wheel. I'm just going to remind you of the fabrics. So we have this lovely bright fabric here. Ideally more summery, but you know, wear it on a summer's evening. This one here, which I always thought was more autumnal anyway. And I've got this piece here, which I've actually made a patina blouse out of. Again, that could be autumnal. And this one here. So all of these, I've got at least 1.5 meters, which is perfect. So I have redone the wheel because I now have 4 left to this. It looks very sparse. So I suppose the best thing to do is now spin the wheel and see what the next duo will be. I will just want to give a shout out. Now, I absolutely love doing this, and there are 2 YouTubers out there that I know of that are doing a very similar thing. That's the lovely Mary from Love My Crafts and Nancy with Running with Scissors. I'll put links to their channels below. but they are doing this. Mary's doing it with some dice, and Nancy's gone all techno and she's doing it on a wheel on a computer. So please go and check them out, because I have to say I absolutely love watching them and the spin. It's so much fun to do it and also watch it, which of course now I know. So let's get on and do the spin. So here we go, the first spin on a reduced Wheel of Fate. We've got 4 patterns, 4 fabrics. Let's spin for the pattern first of all. Here we go. Oh, it's a simplicity one. Okay, so what fabric is it going to choose? So let's spin again. I went the other way. Oh, it's a double, it landed on both. So that's this viscose challis here and this top. Now I've got a blouse made out of that, so I might make it more formal. That's going to be interesting. When I did the spin, I didn't mean to say I make that one more formal, I meant more informal. So this was Simplicity 8920 with this fabric here. Going to be interesting. I'm quite liking the fact that it's a simpler top. I don't think I would go for that, and the one reason I would certainly not go for anything with the split sleeves and the ties is I'm pretty sure this fabric, yeah, is white on the background. So I tend to avoid anything with sort of a flatter sleeve or something like that that has the lighter side showing, because I really don't like to see that. So yeah, we shall see how I get on with that. Still wearing the blouse, loving it, it's very comfy. Thank you so much for joining me on the Fabric Wheel of Fate. I do hope you enjoy this series and maybe encourage you to use up some of the fabrics and patterns that have kind of been there for quite a while in our sewing spaces. Please join me again, and if you like and enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. That would be amazing. I will see you shortly. Goodbye for now and happy sewing.